One of the powerful things about modern web-based GIS is that you can easily create web mapping application for communication about your research project or some other issue that you're passionate about. And here we're creating an instant app. First, though, let's symbolize the data, in this case HDI for UN countries. Let's explore some of the styling symbology options inside ArcGIS Online. As you can see, I'm going to styles here. I've got counts and amounts size. Let's change it to counts and amounts color. Okay, that's good, but what about counts and amounts size and color? Interesting. Looking at patterns, relationships, and trends. I can change the color ramps at will. I can change the size range. Let's go ahead and accept that. And I'm interested in looking at patterns, relationships, and trends for actionable decisions. It's not just a bunch of points, lines, and polygons. It's real data about real people. In this case, Human Development Index, health, life expectancy, access to fresh and clean drinking water, etc. I'm going to bump up the size here. I'm actually mapping it on comparing A to B, 2014 to 2000. Has the HDI changed? Show A as a percent of B. Let's change it to that. And now I can see which countries are stagnating in terms of HDI, which countries have increased, which countries have done some of both over those years. I'm going to create a couple bookmarks so I can navigate quickly to my locations of interest. I now am going to go to Gabon in West Central Africa, and now I'm going to create a bookmark there. That way I can come back to it easily for further analysis. Now, interestingly, and the reason why I picked this location for a bookmark is that you can see Congo has a different color, and let's take a look at the legend. Let's save our map, but let's take a look at the legend as well to look at why are those two countries different in terms of HDI from 2000 to 2014. Now we got to think about, when we're using WebGIS, who to share it with, why to share it, when to share it, when not to share. They're all important considerations. We're going to go to Create App, and we're going to create an instant app. Time does not permit me to go through all of the instant apps that you see here, but there are at least 20 to 30 right now in the Esri ArcGIS Instant App Zone. Let's go to Compare. You get a little description under each one of these apps that help you decide which instant app to use. And there are many choices, but there are many advantages to each one of these. Again, pick one that you think would be suitable for your purposes. In this particular case, I'm going to create this Compare Instant App. I'm going to select the map, and notice that it takes my bookmarks because I said import bookmarks. And now I see the compare with two different, in this case, locations. I can also compare against two different themes. And notice here that I'm going next, and at each step in my instant app creation, I can tick on or tick off choices. Now, this is what I call the shallow end of the geospatial swimming pool, where you've got these configurable apps, you're making choices along the way, and I can always go back and change this later, but no coding required. So this is the, along with story maps and dashboards, these instant apps are the sort of the shallow end of the swimming pool. You can see that I can drag tools between locations. I'm going to drag the home button to the bottom right. Now I can see it down in the bottom right. The mid part of the swimming pool is something like Experience Builder, ArcGIS Experience Builder, where you've got more tools, a little bit of a steeper learning curve, but you've got some configuration capabilities, but you also have the ability to say, I want the tool, a tool that is in the upper right that does this when I click on it. And now I have the capability with this instant app to look at the changes in the HDI for two different countries in two different locations. Fascinating to be able to do this. The far end of the swimming pool, the geospatial swimming pool, is something like the SDKs and the APIs in ArcGIS. So you're actually getting into the code, you're getting into Jupyter Notebooks, and you're getting into the platform that you can have full capabilities on all the things that you want to develop. So that's a little bit about instant apps and why and how to create them. I could save and share my web map, to be sure, with people, but I can also share the instant app. In this case, it gets people exactly to where I want them to look, and I've got customized tools that I want them to be able to play with. In terms of sharing the ArcGIS Online map, they're going to have almost as many tools as what you and I have if we're actually signed in, minus a save button, minus an analytical toolbox. So there's advantages and there are reasons for sharing your ArcGIS Online maps, but there's also valid reasons for sharing your ArcGIS Online web mapping applications, including the set of instant apps. So I encourage you to look at instant apps for a variety of reasons. Communication, if you're an instructor, use them as assessment tools. Your students create instant apps, you use them as assessment instruments. They can add them to their professional student portfolio going into the workplace. You can ask the students to present with those instant apps in class in a virtual setting, online with a learning management system, or in a face-to-face setting. So lots of use cases and reasons to use these instant apps. It's all about communicating with maps and GIS. Thanks.